Let's head to LeGrand, Oregon, Eastern Oregon University head coach Tim Camp. And coach, tell us who you have with you today.
Hello, thank you guys. My name is Tim Camp. I'm the head coach at Eastern. I'm going to have these two guys introduce themselves. They're ready to go.
Hey, I'm Brody McMillan from LeGrand, Oregon.
I'm Jason Grant from Toppenish, Washington.
Brody plays running back for us, and Jason plays safety for us.
Excellent. Great to have you guys. Coach, what do you think of the new revamped Frontier Conference this year?
It is only getting better, I can tell you that. When we very first started, we're playing the round robin, playing each other twice. We didn't lead the country in many things, but miles traveled. But at the same time, what a ton of competition that has really taken the NAIA by storm. I've been a Raider, for the last, 18, 19 years. And to be able to look at this conference and what this conference has done for small college football, it's going to be crazy. There's going to be competition each and every week. And to be able to really represent the Frontier Conference that way is something that I'm pretty proud of, but I know everybody that's involved in the Frontier Conference is going to be very, very proud of. Hopefully we can get some people into the playoffs and make some deep runs in the playoffs and hopefully win a championship, because we have the caliber of teams in this conference to be able to do that.
Coach, tell us about your top returning players you have back for this season.
Yeah, we're very excited. These two right here, and I'll start with Brody. Brody is a running back for us. We anticipate him to be able to carry the load. He is a downhill back, and I get a chance to coach him every single day, and I think that just his leadership in the locker room. I think that his work ethic. I don't praise a lot of guys all the time, but I did praise him in the meeting last night. I said, hey, you know what? There's a few things that could be said about some people, but if you're ever called dependable, if you're ever called, reliable, or if you've been complimented on your effort, those are things that I think that with those things being said to him on a daily basis, and I did it again last night, those are things that we're going to rely on going into this 2025 season. And those are the things that I think of him when I watch him play. You can put the film on when you watch Brody, and you can understand what his intent is. And I think that's important. So the message every single day when people watch practice is you want to learn how to practice, you want to be a mountaineer, you want to do these things, watch this guy. And quite frankly, I'm gonna go right over here to Jason. He's from Toppenish, Washington. Jason finished 2 years ago as a number 16 or 17 in the votes for All-American votes, and I think that he is an All-American type of player for us. He plays multiple different positions for us. He's going to be on the back end this year, but you talk about a leadership on the defensive side of the ball. Those are things that I think are very important too. The way that he plays, the style he plays, he's a very quiet guy, but at the same time, the one thing that he does bring to the table is when he does talk, people do listen. And, Brody has those credits too. We're trying to build young people around here that can continue to provide that leadership, can continue to show people this is how you do things, not just on the football field, but also in everyday life.
Coach Camp, do you have any coaching changes for this year?
We do. I want to welcome. I got a few. I am so excited about this because we've been working our tail off to try and get more coaches to get excited about coming in. And they're young coaches, but at the same time, to be able to go and do things on a daily basis is been outstanding, because now what used to take me and a couple other guys, 2 to 3 days to get something done, we can actually get it done with a full staff. So I'd like to talk about being able to welcome Alton Julian. Alton played at Oregon State last year. Alton's going to come in and work with the corners this year. Blaine Shaw, who the Frontier Conference should know a lot about. Blaine's going to be working with the safeties this year. And then Gabe Shuckle. Gabe, well known in the Frontier Conference. He's going to be working with our edges. And then I was able to bring along 2 graduate assistants with us in Quincy Glassler. Everybody knows who Quincy is. Quincy's going to be working with the quarterbacks. And then I got James Gray, who's going to be assisting on the defensive side of the ball, which James was a 3-year starter at center for us, And so we got a lot of guys that have played for me. and they know our system. They know what to do. They want to get into coaching. And that was one of the most exciting things to me, is that we've done enough here that would allow these guys to want to get into coaching and to be able to go and continue to provide and start a career. And I think that that's what Eastern Oregon has provided. And I think that at the end of the day, returning my coordinators with Leon Ledo at OC, Solo Taylor back at our defensive coordinator, Willie Camp's going to coach the wide receivers again this year. Carson Brown's going to work with the offensive line again. Wade Green back again, working with the defensive line. So we got a full staff that is in place, and it makes it feel so good to walk into the office knowing that you got quality people who are going in the same direction as you. So I feel really, really good about the direction that we're going, and to be able to get that done in spring football, carried over to summer workouts, and then all the way into fall camp. It's been awesome.
Brody, what do you like best about the team this season?
We got a lot of young guys. I think we'll be fast and physical. I mean, we have, on offense anyways, we have only two returning starters. So we have a lot of new faces, and I'm loving it.
And tell me about that offensive line that's going to protect you and give you some holes to run through.
We brought some big boys this year. I think they're going to be great.
And Jason, got a tough question for you. What do you like best about your head coach, Tim Camp?
I like how authentic and real he is. He will give me crap if I'm slacking or if he notices I'm not up to my best, and he will praise me when I'm doing great. And I think that's probably his best trait. Some people don't like it. I love it personally, and I think that's probably it right there.
Coach, the logistics, travel for Eastern Oregon, tell us, what is that like?
Well, you know what? Like I said, we lead everybody in the Frontier Conference. I don't let our guys ever say, "Oh, we got to get on." Hey, the next bus trip is going to be the next bus trip ever. So we try and do things as high class and first class as we possibly can. And you know what? Getting on a bus with your buddies, your teammates, and going over to Dickinson State or going down to Southern Oregon, which is just a 10-hour trip from La Grande. So to go to College of Idaho when it's 2.5 hours, I mean, those are great times for us. And the one thing that I always tell these kids or young men, hey, looking back on this in 10 years. You're gonna wish you were on a bus. Let me just tell you that. You're gonna wish you were like broke down alongside the road in Butte, Montana. Because I think I know every back road, every side road in the great state of Montana. I've been doing this for a long time. And I think the trick to this, and I remember my very, very first year is I took a road trip up and really tried to figure out where the best places were to stay, how we can do this and how we can do it the right way. And I've always believed that the team that can travel the best, that learns the system and is able to do those things, they will have a better shot at doing things. So we've changed some things up. I've communicated with some of the other head coaches in the conference, who have the same travel schedule as us, and we've been able to get something where I feel that, hey, this actually works for us. This is what we can do to put our young people in the best position possible to go and compete at a very, very high level. And I think that just building the conference to be able to take our team down to Arizona, right, against the Quality Arizona Christian School, and to be able to fly and do things first class, and then to be able to get back on a bus and go 16 hours up to Rocky Mountain, to play a good Rocky Mountain squad. It shows us that we're able and we're capable, but the team that needs to show up each and every week has got to be the team that, again, that is on the edge. They're not over, but they're on the edge, and they're ready to play in a tough Frontier Conference. So I personally love the travel. I think it's awesome. I've been doing it for a long time, getting older, so I'm a little stiffer getting off the bus, but at the same time, it's the next best bus ride ever.
Coach, 2 divisions this year, 2 automatic bids, and maybe 1 or 2 more at large. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I push for that, and Scott can tell you this. I mean, I really just dive in the ratings, and I've been doing it for a long time, and to really, really push our teams and try and have 5, 6, 7 teams in the top 25 when it was the poll has always been the goal, because again, I believe with all my heart that the type of play that we have in the Frontier Conference and how we go about doing things, our teams can go far into the playoffs. We just need to get more in there. But at the end of the day, the one thing that I always tell, and I'll tell Scott, and I always have said this to the other coaches, it matters to win late, because we have quality teams with 6 wins. We have quality teams with 5 wins that if you're looking out and you actually study and are able to watch some of the other teams across the country that are getting in, you're like, hey, our teams would do very, very well. And historically they have. So I am so excited about the two sides. I think then at the end of the day, the competition, being able to only have to play one team in a round robin is awesome. But at the same time, it just shows the strength and the direction and the future of the Frontier Conference, leading the way in the NAIA as far as being a power conference.
Dr. Crawford.
So I'm going to ask the young man, Brody and Jason, Coach keeps referring to this as we're going to be number 1 in miles traveled, which he's totally spot on there. But other than the first game of the season, is there one trip that you're looking forward to most in the coming season?
I'll go. So we're looking forward to all of them. That's what I'm going to say. I'm looking forward to travel wherever we need to go.
Tim, is he cut from the same cloth as you? I don't think I've ever seen a kid that's as happy as he is compared to you.
There you go. Hey, I'm telling you, if you would have seen this kid, I'm telling you, Scott, if you'd have met this kid about 3 years ago, you'd have said something different, right? But I'm telling you what, I'm claiming him. He's mine. And like I said, being in meeting rooms with this kid and how I just to be able to watch, I had 2 boys that graduated from Eastern, and I'm telling you, watching these 2 guys, it's like I'm a proud dad every day. So I'll take him. That's a compliment.
How about from our other young man that's with us?
I'd probably say Happer, because most people say that's the worst. I like bad things. I'll say that.
You're talking about the trip, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about the trip. Okay. Want to clarify, we're talking about we still got 2.5, 3 hours once we get out of Great Falls. So it's quite the trip up there.
And you're almost in Canada at that time.
Hey, 40 miles from it. 40 miles from it. Not too far at all.
Well, Jason, I'm with you. I love my trip up to Havre. I get up there a couple times a year, and the friends of the Frontier that are on the High Line up there, they're just great people, and so good choice, young man.
Pretty good.
Any questions from the media?
We have Kyle Dahl.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, what's up, fellas?
What's up, Dodgy?
So I got a question for each one of you guys, and I'm going to start with Brody because it plays into what you just said about him. I've covered Brody since he was in high school. And if you asked me his senior year of high school if he would ever wear the legacy number at EOU, I would say absolutely not. And I think he can probably agree with that. And I'm super proud of you, by the way. Describe the feeling of being chosen to wear the legacy number this year and the work that you've put in to earn that privilege.
For me, it's such a huge honor. I mean, watching those before me, I looked up to him since my freshman year of college. I mean, watching Solo Taylor, watching Josh Mendoza, watching Blaine Shaw. I mean, I grew up with Blaine Shaw, so just watching him, I watched how he worked, his work ethic, and I just put myself in his shoes and went to work.
Good. Jason, your question. I feel like you've been the most dependable player on the defense over the last 2 years. Your freshman season, you played under guys like Zach Donato and Solo Taylor. Talk about how being able to learn from those guys has helped mold you into an all-conference player perennially.
I'll just say, with guys like Zach Donato, I praise everything to him and Brian Mills, our DC at the time. Solo Taylor, he was wearing 7 at the time. He put in the standard. He showed us how to work. Zach Donato, he did everything right. He was the guy that I looked up to coming in. He was the guy that I wanted to be coming in. And now that I'm here, I've done my time. I'm glad that I'm here now, I guess.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you this. You remind me of him, so you're doing something right. Finally, you, Coach Camp.
Yes, sir.
Gosh, okay, so you lost the player with the third most passing yards and the fifth most rushing yards in the conference in Quincy Glassberg, and also All-American wide receiver in Malachi Spurrier. What have we done to, kind of close that gap? Because that's a lot of yards.
Yeah, that is a ton of yards, obviously. It's college football. It's small college football. We went and recruited. We got a quarterback battle going on right now with 3 quarterbacks, and each are taking reps, and the data will show at the end of it. And then I'll make my decision who we start. But the competition is a great one. And I think the biggest thing offensively is that we got to value the football. And again, we started a quarterback not too long ago by the name of Zach Bartlow, very similar situation. And I think that we got some guys that are very, very similar to him about managing the football game. All right. We're going to have to be able to run the football. We're going to have to play action pass. We're going to have to do the things that we know that we can do. I mean, we're an inside zone stretch RPO football club, right? So again, making the correct choices and doing the correct things, putting the ball on time and in place to playmakers that can make plays is what we're all about offensively. And that hasn't changed for the 20 years that I've been here, right? And the other thing is I think we're going to have a much improved defense. And that's what I'm counting on. We've went to work in the junior colleges as far as on the defensive side of the ball to try and get Jason some help and trying to get Michael Linke some help, Tyler Exline some help over there. And I think that we've accomplished that goal. Now, obviously, we got a lot of work to do. We're not a ready-made team by any means. But we're a team that's going to work hard, blue collar, with a gold standard. That's who we're about. And then again, to move back to the offensive side of the ball, we have an offensive wide receiver room filled with 18 guys right now, right? We got an offensive line that, again, when you look at us, you're going to go, oh my goodness, they're big, right? And I'm going to get a chance to work with them a little bit more. Again, if you look at my history and you know who I am, I love the run first option. I mean, I want to run the ball in the Frontier Conference because I want to, but I also want to run the football in the Frontier Conference because we need to. And I think that's the one thing that's going to help our defense out more and more and more. So when you see Eastern Oregon, it's going to be the same type of thing that you will always see. If you give us a light box, hey, we're going to run the ball. If you give us a loaded box, we're going to throw the ball. But at the same time, the one thing that you're going to be able to see is Eastern Oregon value the football, right? That is the message all the way from spring, all the way to now. And the one way that you can always protect the football team is by doing your job. And that's what these guys are we're talking to these guys daily about is making sure you're protecting the football team, you're protecting the team in the way that you play, the way that you walk, the way that you talk, because nothing else as far as I'm concerned. We're still gonna really pour into the academics. We're gonna pour into building young men, and we're gonna pour into this community because at the end of the day, like I've said for a long time, that we're gonna get and make Eastern Oregon and the LeGrand community proud of who we got wearing the blue and gold.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Kyle, thanks for the questions. And Jason and Brody, stay healthy this year. Have fun. Coach Camp, wish you the best of luck. Gentlemen, thanks for your time today. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Mount up.